Good afternoon, everyone. I lost a friend, and all because I was irresponsible. They were last seen at a mediocre Mexican restaurant. We were very close for the last, I would say, 5+ years. And we went on many, many adventures together. We walked across 5 states, and I could have gone through the most stressful weeks in college, but I took comfort in the fact that during the weekends we would just roam the city of Worcester to explore a new hidden nook and cranny that not even the locals knew about. Yeah, those places, they were ours. I just want to make this video to commemorate this friend of mine who always had my back, specifically the upper part of it. Always gave me comfort when I needed it the most. And took the heat for me so I wouldn't. I'm not sure if it's a he or a she. I didn't quite give it a name, but Hat, I will miss you. Our last adventure was when my girlfriend Carrie came up to New Hampshire, and she drove me to do the Franconia Ridge Loop. Wonderful trail. The Appalachian Trail runs right through the top of the ridge. And then afterwards we went to a Mexican restaurant, and out of foolishness I took it with me, and I wasn't careful, and I left my hat behind. And when I realized later that night that my hat was missing, I didn't give up hope. Because what I first noticed about that Mexican restaurant in Lincoln was that their menu was identical to the random Mexican restaurant that's right here in Waterville Valley, New Hampshire, where I'm living for the summer. And when I made that connection in my head, I figured, well, if the menus are identical, both in their content and their design, then perhaps the owner is the same. And if the owner is the same, then perhaps there's someone who makes rounds between both restaurants. And if there's someone who makes rounds between both restaurants, and I call in to report that a hat is missing, and perhaps I use my Spanish to charm them for that charisma brownie point, perhaps they will be more than happy to give this Mexican his hat back. Because seriously, the stereotype is that the Mexican man is always wearing the hat, and honestly, I feel naked without mine. But alas, that is not the case, because I called them, and they said that they couldn't find my hat. So maybe someone found a hat on the ground and took it. I just hope that whoever owns my hat right now, I just hope that they also wear it to go on adventures as well. It doesn't have to be anything great, like you don't have to walk across states. It could be something simple like going to the beach or going to the park. That's an adventure in its own way. But yeah, my hat is somewhere out there in that big world. I don't know what it's doing. I can only hope that my hat's in good hands and on a good head. Of course, it makes me a bit sad because it's an accessory that has literally accompanied me through all these states and all these walks around Worcester and hikes in South Texas. But it was a hat that lived a good life. It was a hat that lived a good life, at least when I owned it. If anything, New Hampshire, it has a strong hiking culture. It has the White Mountains, goddammit. And I can only hope that my hat ends up hiking the White Mountains for years and years to come. It's a good way to go. But in the meantime, I'll just use my Amazon Prime membership to get a new one right here instantly. It was time for an update after all. It was a good hat. It was still, functional. It wasn't broken or anything. But, sometimes change like this is to be welcomed. But yeah, rest in peace, hat. May your new owner treat you well. So have a good one. Take care. Kick ass.